live. Come on. You're live. What's up, everybody? Everybody good? I have weird lighting in my... I realized that the lighting... I did a thing with Richard Marks yesterday, and he looked tan and awesome, and I looked sort of pink. All right, let's do this. Do it. I don't know if this angle is particularly awesome. Maybe I could... Yeah. Well, we almost have 1,000 people. Nice to see you. Richard Marks' song tonight. Not tonight, lady, who just disappeared into the ether of other people's comments. Hi, YouTube. I'm glad we're on. Putting my headset on. I didn't think this through because I thought it would just easily happen. Oh, you can see my pink Prince orb. Stop wearing hats. Some of us love your hair. That is a good way to get me to always wear a hat. Telling me to not wear a hat, but I appreciate that you like my hair. I love it. All right. Yeah. I was going to start with a song. We can let it populate slightly. Everybody doing okay? Yet another week. Yet another week. All right. Not much to say about that. I like your shirt. You seem more chipper tonight. Well, thanks. This shirt was Electric Works. If you go to sfelectricworks.com, you can get one. Courage. May it be common. Pretty great. All right. Gonna do a song. Then we'll do questions. Someone asked for this with like a threatening, you better play this tonight. So I was like, oh shit. I bet you're laughing at some joke he told you, with his arm around your sunburned shoulder. I spent the morning with my face against the window seat, looking down at all the things that got the best of me. No more late night drives to Boston. No more Cure songs to get lost in. No more taxis or subway tokens. Arms wide open, I'm sky high, honey, gone. I take the streetcars around San Francisco, get winks from the pretty boys down in the Castro, and through the turnstile roll the jappy girls, the shabby dolls. Can't resist myself, I get their names I never call. No more late night drives to Boston. No more Cure songs to get lost in. No more taxis, subway tokens. Arms wide open, I'm sky high, honey, gone. I'm sky high, honey. You wait too long, you never leave, and it feels like dying, but still your heart beats. No more late night night drives to Boston. No more Cure songs to get lost in. No more taxis or subway tokens. Arms wide open. I'm sky high, honey, gone. I'm sky high, honey, gone. All right, there it is. First song of the quarantine jam-a-lam. Let's go to some questions. People ask them in advance. Let's see. Let's see if we can answer some good ones. See what comes up. Favorite season and why? Oh, that's a good one. Fall. Autumn. The fall. It's just the most romantic, sad, and amazing and beautiful time. Best concert I've ever been to. Oh, some of these questions came in late. Oh my God, there's so many. I'm trying to think of one that like blew my mind the most. Probably the first time I saw U2. I'll tell you the story. I was at the it wasn't maybe it was the first time. Worcester Centrum, Joshua Tree tour. I went with I was in boarding school as a kid, and I went. I used to convince the different teachers and faculty to take me to concerts, and so I became real close with this woman who worked in admissions, Susan, and she was rad. And we went together I went with Mr. Kiley, and this was Miss Kime, and I would sort of convince all these awesome people to take me to shows. So we went to the Worcester Centrum, and the band played. They did this a lot, but this was the most transcendent moment I've ever had in my whole life at a show. The show ended with them playing 40, which is a song off War. And they do this a lot, but I'd never seen it at the time. Larry's on the drums. The Edge, who usually plays guitar, is playing bass, and Adam, who's usually playing bass, is playing guitar. And Bono's singing, and they do the song. And then as the song ends, Bono puts his hand up in the air and says, like, "See you later," walks off stage, and then the band keeps playing. Then Adam Clayton kind of hits one more chord on his guitar, puts his hand up, and the tech comes out, takes his guitar, and he walks off. And Edge and Larry keep playing. And then Edge plays kind of one more, revolution of the chord changes. And then he walks off the stage, and it's just Larry Mullen. And the part that I didn't tell you is that Bono gets everybody in the audience to sing the refrain of this song 40. And he says, "How long to sing this song?" So everyone's singing, "How long to sing this song?" And then Bono walks off, crowd still singing, "How long to sing this song?" And then Adam walks off, crowd still singing. Then Edge walks off, and it's just Larry Mullen Jr. on the drums and the entire crowd singing. Then Larry kind of plays a fill, puts his sticks down, walks off stage, crowd still singing. The lights come up at the Centrum, and the crowd is still singing. Nobody's talking. Everybody's still singing. "How long to sing this song?" And everybody gets up from their seats and starts moving to the exits, still singing. And walking through the halls of the Centrum, nobody's talking. Everybody's singing. "How long to sing this song?" And it's like echoing off the walls. And the last thing I remember hearing before I got in the car was sort of like that refrain, "How long," like dissipating into the night as everybody went their separate ways to go home. So that was one of the most transcendent moments I've ever had, at a show. All right, that was a good question. I think I had too much tea. I'm a little shaky. Please play. Okay. Let's see. How many pets do you have? 3. What was the inspiration for headphones? Just that I love music so much, and I wanted to celebrate that. And that when I have my headphones on, I feel invincible. I feel amazing. And I feel like the beauty of the world really comes out, and the stuff that drives me nuts kind of fades. What do I listen to when I'm working out? Metal mostly. Sometimes lately I've been listening to not Blood Sugar Sex Magic, but Mother's Milk, the Chili Peppers record Mother's Milk, which has never failed me. Musings from the Staff Lounge. Best, oh my God, it shows up in Instagram if I push a button. Best rock star hair, Robert Plant or David Coverdale? Robert Plant for sure. Even though David Coverdale has rad hair, it was definitely a different time. It was a little bit, the 80s were tough on hair, and Robert Plant just had the natural dope thing going on. What else? Let's see. Do another acoustic tour, please. We'll see if that ever happens. It'll happen. All right. Yeah, those are some good questions. Let me see if anybody has any. I wrote some down too, because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to fucking work this madness. Scorpions or Def Leppard? That was a question. And definitely Def Leppard. I've never been a Scorpions fan. I mean, obviously I love No One Like You, and I love, Rock You Like a Hurricane or whatever, but vinyl jackpot. Someone asked, have I ever been record shopping and found a record that just, I lost my mind that it was there, and I couldn't believe it. Aaron and I were on tour in England, and we were in Manchester, and before the show we went to a record store, and they had the original on Too Pure, the pressing of PJ Harvey's Dry, which is one of my favorite records of all time, and I spent quite a bit of money on it because I wanted it, and it was real sexy and real fun, and I'm still on the lookout for a bunch of others. But that was the biggest haul. That was like a real moment. I'm looking for the Kevin Kinney solo record, McDougal Blues, if any of you happen to. Well, none of us are at stores, but you know what I'm saying. All right. Let's see next. More questions coming in. Let me do another song, and then we'll answer some more questions. Yeah. Let's do headphones. Yeah. So this is headphones. Cinderella's gone to New York City. She wants to shave her head and disappear. 18 years and never feeling pretty. Said she's finally clear. Ain't too proud to swim or drown now, baby. Ain't too proud to sink or see it through. She said, everybody wants to be with me. I got all I need, all I need. I feel invincible with my headphones on. Everybody posts for magazines. It's all just noise to me. I feel invincible with my headphones on. Oh, oh. If anybody comes around to find me, if anybody asks for me, she said, just tell them all I'm in the deep end singing, 'cause I got music inside of my head. Ain't too proud to swim or drown now, baby. Ain't too proud to sink or see it through. She said, everybody wants to be with me. I got all I need, all I need. I feel invincible with my headphones on. Everybody posts for magazines. It's all just noise to me. I feel invincible with my headphones on. Oh, with my headphones on. I feel invincible with my headphones. The people talking in their sleep. Can't see the forest for the trees. It's our scratch ticket lottery. Oh, oh, Brave new world, same old crowd. Good things whisper, bad things shout, but I don't hear them now. She said, everybody wants to be with me. Yeah, I got all I need. I feel invincible with my headphones on. Everybody posts for magazines. It's all just noise to me. I feel invincible with my headphones on. Oh, with my headphones on. I feel invincible with my headphones on. Oh, headphones on. I feel invincible with my headphones on. All right. COVID got me down. You're just what I needed. No, that's nice. Thanks. That's a fun song to play. Do you know any of Trickster? Asks my friend Frankie Perry. Yeah. I mean, I know Steve Brown and PJ. You know, I was on That Metal Show with Steve Brown, and then PJ and I have become friends on the Insta. Let's see. Favorite quarantine comfort food? I'm always going to go with ice cream. Ice cream's the jam. Let me scoot through this. Oh, there were some more that I took down. Favorite neighborhood in San Francisco other than the neighborhood I live in? My neighborhood is Bernal Heights. The Outer Sunset, man. I love it. That is one of my absolute favorite neighborhoods. Just to be that close to the water, to have a little sunshine. And it is picturesque and romantic and cinematic, and Outer Sunset, even with all the expensive coffee places now. I mean, there's two, and Trouble Coffee is awesome. Neil Finn, thoughts? Do you have Neil Finn thoughts? I mean, Neil Finn's one of our greatest treasures, one of New Zealand's greatest treasures. But I loved Try Whistling This. That record just murders me. I loved Crowded House. I love that he's in Fleetwood Mac, even though I probably won't go see it. Just because I'm good. What's your biggest struggle with homeschooling your daughter? Well, the good news is that her school is doing a lot of online learning. So, and my wife has been handling quite a bit of the expressiveness that comes along with transition. So it's tough, but I mean, like it's low on the totem pole of things that are tough. I'm thankful that her school is so great, and I'm thankful that she is mostly compliant to the idea of learning at home. Best 80s hairband. I don't do the hairband thing. I don't say hairband because it's so derogatory, but I know what you're trying to say. I mean, my favorite band of the 80s that seems to be stuck in amber in the 80s on a certain level, even though they were in the 90s and more, was probably Poison. And then I think a band that was untouchable in the 80s and untouchable still to a certain degree, but really, like, I thought Skid Row was just such a perfect band. And I think they're great now. And I think that they still have evolved in this really rad way, and they're super powerful. And I love they've had a couple singers since Sebastian, all been good. But the first three Skid Row records are, to me, kind of, I mean, Skid Row and Slave to the Grind are flawless. And then Subhuman Race is amazing. So anyway, probably that. Let's see what else. What's it like to work with Butch Walker? He's my favorite. He's so awesome. We have a blast and we laugh and he's talented in such a supreme genius kind of way. And he moves so fast, and Butch Walker has a gut instinct that is second to none, in my opinion, musically. His gut instinct is magical. Mike Viola has a similar, different kind of gut instinct, but the same. It's just like when they play something and you're like, yeah, it sounds like, I like to equate it to people like that. It sounds like they're falling down the stairs creatively. You don't know what's happening. It feels out of control. And then all of a sudden they land on their feet at the bottom of the stairs. And it's awesome because I'm an analytical person. So I'm always overthinking and moving ands and I's and does that word want to be there? And then Butch kind of comes in and just like, whoop, and it's like, and I'm never not in awe of the results. When's the next record coming out? Well, that's a funny thing. I have no idea. We're finishing it now. I have no idea if it'll come out. I have no idea what's happening because everything is changing day to day, and you get new information from people who know. And so what I'm doing is just kind of hanging tight. And it's like, I won't tour till I know it's safe to tour. We have things booked, but they may not happen. They may happen. I have no idea. And in terms of the record, it's a similar thing. It's like, we just don't know. I'm trying not to think too much about it because it'll drive me mad trying to get to the bottom of something that nobody actually knows yet. But I'm psyched. It's really good, man. There's some really fun stuff, but we'll roll with it. Another question was my all-time favorite music video. Sabotage by the Beastie Boys. That's just perfect. It's perfect. All right. Let me do a new song. It's called Soundtrack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6th fret. So 7th fret. Let's see. I had other things I wanted to pimp and talk about, but Matt, I'm sad. You can't hear us clapping. Oh, hey, it's awesome. Well, and in Madison, Wisconsin, doctors from Madison. Oh my God, you guys are doing real work over there. I can hear you clapping in my mind. Did you write Boston accent before or after your podcast chat with Pete Holmes? Wow, that's a good question. After. It was an awesome conversation. Pete Holmes is such a stellar fucking human. For those of you who don't know my relationship with Pete Holmes, I was on his podcast. He had a show called Crashing on HBO, and he's a funny ass human stand-up comic. He's written a book, and he did a podcast with me, and we're both from Lexington, Massachusetts, which is also where Eugene Merman is from, and it's a really weird town. Like a lot of really talented, crazy funny, crazy creative humans have come out of Lexington, Massachusetts. Aaron, my friend and cohort guitar player, Lexington. So anyway, this is a song called Soundtrack, and I'll try not to mess it up. And this ties into the headphones idea, is that I like music more than I like people, is kind of how I always said it. And this song expands on that, I guess. Are you a moaner? Is that a real question? Holy shit, how do I back up? That's incredible. Are you a moaner? I don't know. That feels slightly, there might be kids and some people don't want to know. All right, there's a new song. Stop asking fucking questions. I got to get this done. Yeah, there it is again. Are you a moaner? I have moaned. I have moaned. Yes, I have. I don't keep how I feel inside of myself. I have moaned. Yes, I have. Sometimes I make noise when I go to the bathroom. I love to make noise. I'm an expulsive human. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay, people. Now it's getting sassy on Instagram. That's where all the beautiful perverts live. All right, I'm going to do the song. I heard the city sing the night that we met. It hung in the air like the moon. We kissed in the Bowery and ditched all your friends. Watched the sunrise from your room. Music saved my life. It lit me like flare guns in the night. It turned all my nightmares into dreams. It was everything. But now it's just a soundtrack to weekends and days in your bed while we sleep in. And I watch you dress to the sound of a symphony playing for two. Music used to be everything to me. Now it's just a soundtrack to you. Drunk at pagoda, waiting half the night to sing Tiny Dancer at dawn. There wasn't one person who got the words right, but the whole room sang along. Weekends, days in your bed while we sleep in, and I watch you dress to the sound of a symphony playing for two. Music used to be everything to me. Now it's just a soundtrack to you and I walking through Chinatown, talking about places that we'll never see. A-train to Rockaway, pizza on paper plates, watching the waves from the beach. Music saved my life. It lit me like flare guns in the night. Turned all my nightmares into dreams. It was everything. Weekends, days in your bed while we sleep in, and I watch you dress to the sound of a symphony playing for two. Music used to be everything to me. Now it's just a soundtrack to you. Yeah. Once Amazon starts shipping non-essential goods, I'm gonna get a button from my desk that goes woo when it's done, so I can fill the void. Yeah, that's great. That's a new song. That's called Soundtrack. Let's do one more. I can do a couple more questions and then we can call it. People have asked me a lot what I do during the quarantine to not lose my mind. And so I wanted to kind of pimp a meditation center that's kind of been blowing my mind. And you don't have to join in on the sits when they happen live if you don't want to, but they happen on Instagram and YouTube every morning and every evening. Against the Stream meditation. So againstthestream.com. And if you wanted to try one out to see how it worked for you, it's sort of like a teaching portion and then a sitting meditation portion. And so meditation might not be your thing. Buddhism might not be your thing. But if you go to their YouTube page, Against the Stream on YouTube, I think it's Against Stream Meditation Center. Noah Levine is one of the main, I think it's his meditation center. He did a talk last night called Reflections on Aspirations and Goals for Your Spiritual Life, which I get that some of you are like, enough hippie, but like, these are all people that have been in recovery. They are tattooed, punk rock humans, and they have lived an incredible night, and every morning it's a different teacher. They sort of rotate between. And there was one on sex and dharma, like like mindful masturbation. It's just an incredible, it's incredible. So anyway, I suggest going over to the YouTube page, and last night's was particularly amazing. And I was sitting on my chair listening to it with my headphones, and I just, a couple times out loud, I was like, whew, this idea that that everything you need is inside of you, and the external world, if you can't look to it for validation and all that good stuff. And my Alan Watts book is here. So I wanted to read a bit from this real quick because it's into that. And I wanted to read it, and it's cool. Don't tune out. Life is understood in its why. This is Alan Watts's book, The Meaning of Happiness. I got my tea here. Because when life is understood in its widest sense, there's no possibility of escape from it. Everything is life, even escapism. And if the whole of life is to be accepted, the desire to escape must not be made into a new devil, right? And that says the reality of life, which includes all possible things and apart from which nothing exists. In this state, one is supremely happy because even though they may be, he uses he, so I'm just going to read it the way he did it. In this state, man is supremely happy because even though he may be involved in a conflict with pain and evil, even though he may feel the very human emotions of fear, anger, and love. He lives his life with a wholeheartedness and abandon, born of the understanding that all things are fundamentally acceptable. For to him, there is meaning and divinity in every aspect of the universe, and in both the greatness and the littleness, the love and the fear, the joy and the sorrow, the content and the discontent of the human soul. The reason is that in trying to be united with life, we're striving to achieve something that already exists. Oh, fuck. Hold on to this. The result is that our very efforts to achieve it are hindrances in that they encourage the feeling that we are divorced from life and have to make ourselves one with it. But we cannot realize all at once that this union already exists because centuries of civilization have orphaned us from nature, both in and around us, making us feel that we are self-contained, independent, and autonomous egos. For it is only by trying to accept life as a whole that we can make ourselves aware that there was never any real need to try, and that spirituality is, in fact, a matter of becoming what we are. I'm so in on this shit, I can't even tell you. Can't even tell you. All right, let's do one more. Other questions people asked. If I had a chance to meet Bono, what would I say? I probably wouldn't say anything. I probably wouldn't go up to him. I'd probably just see him and go, oh my God, that's Bono, and then keep walking. Because I don't really care about Bono as a person. I care about what Bono does. And he's made great music and he's doing great humanitarian stuff. And I'm not going to impress him in any way. And it's just going to make me feel inadequate if I do or don't. It's going to make me feel awesome if I can make an impression and stupid if I can't. So I just as soon not do it because it doesn't matter to me. He as a human is not really important to me, but he is a conduit for the shit he does. I back that. And I get to experience that, so I don't need to talk to him. That was my Bono one. Sabotage, favorite music video, if I had a chance to meet Bono. Any other questions? Let's see. Oh my God, do I see Stephen King's 11/22/63 on your shelf? Yes, I bought it right before everything went banana Montana, and I haven't read it yet because, so I had this thing where people would be like, what books are you reading? And I was like, oh, I'm reading this, and this. And people are like, I can't read during the pandemic because I'm so, thrown and out of my, it's such a weird thing. And I was like, not me. And then this week, it's been me. I've had like 7 books next to my bed and I start them and I'm like, fuck this book's, what am I doing? And so I can't get into any of them. I tried Prince's autobiography thing and I got like 100 pages in and I just kind of put it down. And I read, I'm in the middle of like 6 books, like 400 pages into one, 250 pages into another. And I just kind of lose interest. So I don't know what's happening, but I mean, I know what's happening. We're in a pandemic. I can't wait to get back to reading. And that's on the list. That's a big ass Stephen King piece of work. All right. Let's see if you could pull. How long does it take you to memorize a new song? You write it. Just depends. Some of them are real good. Some of them have gone through so many revisions that I'm sort of confused and I will play them and use the old words that I didn't use, et cetera, et cetera. I've never noticed that my song Birthday Girl sounds like Leaving on a Jet Plane, but I'll totally check that out. I love Leaving on a Jet Plane. And I love borrowing. Are you drinking out of your own VIP mug? Yeah, but it's not mine. So they send you test mugs when you do mugs. Like I was like, I want to make a mug from my VIP meet and greet things. And they sent a bunch of mugs. And this is without the logo, but I love it. I wouldn't sell something to people that I didn't love. And I love this. I didn't sell it to anybody. I gave it away. But you know what I'm saying? It's a dope mug. Let's see. Oh, wait. All right. Let's do this one. Somebody asked me about Tracy Chapman, which is a weird thing. Maybe I talked about her at some point. Would you ever cover a Tracy Chapman song? So I thought maybe we could end with a Tracy Chapman cover. And I didn't really, I don't know. I ran it like half a time just to see if I remembered it. So I'll do this and then we'll call it. But I wanted to thank everybody for great questions. I wanted to thank everybody for, Yeah, check out Against the Stream's YouTube page if you feel like doing that. If you're feeling like you need some grounding. Electric Works, sfelectricworks.com. They have incredible art. This is Dave Eggers, the author, did this picture. Courage, may it be common. I'll show it one more time. And I read Alan Watts, again, The Meaning of Happiness. And I played a new song and some other stuff. All right, let's move on. Do you like whiskey? Oh, I don't drink, so I've never had whiskey. Is Jack Daniel's whiskey? I've had Jack Daniel's when I was a kid, like I was like 14. But is that whiskey or is it bourbon? Jack Daniel's bourbon? Somebody? Anybody that drinks? I think this thing is slow, so. Don't you know, talking about a revolution sounds like a whisper. Don't you know, talking about a revolution sounds like a whisper. While we're standing on the welfare lines, crying in the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know, talking about a revolution sounds like a whisper. Poor people gonna rise up, take what's theirs. Poor people gonna rise up, get their share. Oh, such a better run, 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 run. Oh, such a better run, 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 run. Yes, finally the tables are starting to turn. Talking about a revolution. Yes, finally the tables are starting to turn. Talking about a revolution. Oh, while they're standing in the welfare line, crying in the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know, I'm talking about a revolution. It sounds like a whisper. Yes, finally the tables are starting to turn. Talking about a revolution. Yes, finally the tables are starting to turn. Talking about a revolution. Oh, Lord. Talking about a revolution. Oh, Lord. I haven't played that song since like high school, so that was fun. Such a good song. God damn it, Tracy Chapman. Anyway, okay. Beautiful humans of the world. Yeah, I think I answered questions. I think I talked about you too. And I think we're good. See you again next week, maybe. I think I might take a break, maybe, but I don't know. Don't judge me. I'm not sure. I haven't quite figured it out. But thank you for tuning in. And I don't understand why. I got to get some YouTube influencer lights in here because I look like I look red, and I look like I'm not necessarily red. I don't know. I look like the guy that taught me how to drive in New Hampshire. We had to make a certain number of hours, and we would drive from our high school a half hour in one direction and then turn around at the roundabout right before the 93 and then drive a half hour back. And we'd do that to get our hours for driving. And he was an alcoholic, and he would just sit in the back of the car. Sometimes he'd sit in the front and smoke cigarettes. Sometimes he'd sit in the back a little bit hung. And anyway, and he had kind of a ruddy Bukowski-esque look to him. And we do it in like I remember learning to drive in the winter in New Hampshire because you could get your license, your permit earlier in New Hampshire than you could in Mass. And I went to high school in New Hampshire, so I used that as my address. Anyway, I look like him right now. I look ruddy and you know, kissed by the winds. Anyway, okay. Talk to you guys later. Good to see you. Happy rest of your day.